So the new kayak launch at Lake Shamawood opened this past fall, 2023. The reason why it was installed is because we had shoreline access before, but we wanted to improve the amount of access that people with mobility needs could have. So in order to do that, we reached out to a couple of different companies, did some research on other ways to get people to the water, and found this company called BoardSafe and selected one of their products. So the canoe launch that we're using, or canoe and kayak launch that we're using, has an accessible ramp that goes down to a floating dock system. That floating dock also has a gangway that allows you to put your canoe and kayak alongside and tow it down with you as you get down to the landing mat, if you will. That area, whether or not you need adaptive or accessibility requirements, can be used to just throw your canoe and kayak off to the side. It can allow you to tie up, but it also can allow you to stay in the chute and use the different devices to either assist you lowering in or just give you some extra stability while you're getting in and out of your kayak. It's one of the things at the Forest Preserve that we try to do is universal design. So you accomplish all the things that you're really supposed to with accessibility and providing things for people of all uses and abilities, but without it having so far forward that you're like, oh, okay, that's an accessible accommodation, right? It's supposed to blend in seamlessly, and that's what we try to do.
It is totally awesome that people with disabilities and anybody really can turn around and use this kayak launch to hop their kayak or canoe right into the lake and enjoy kayaking and a day of paddling right on Lake Shamawood. Well, primarily one of the biggest issues that people with disabilities have is trying to get into the water independently. And with this fully accessible kayak launch by BoardSafe, it makes it really easy for anybody with a disability, whether you have a physical disability like myself, who is an incomplete paraplegic, or even somebody who's a quadriplegic, to turn around and be able to transfer safely from their wheelchair into their kayak and launch it right into Lake Shamawood. But one of the biggest difficulties we really run into is finding fully accessible kayak launches. And when I go kayaking, if there's no accessible launch available, what ends up happening is I have to get onto my kayak or into my kayak from my wheelchair onto the ground, and then usually my wife or my kids, or both, because I'm a big guy, will have to drag me into the lake in order for me to launch. This is the first time that I've turned around and have used this accessible kayak launch, and everything went completely smoothly. I think my wife's favorite comment was that we actually kayaked for several hours, and I came back and my shoes were completely dry. She didn't have to walk in the water to pull me, or vice versa, even getting out of the water. Accessibility is not a one-size-fits-all. So generally what we're looking for is universal access. It's just equipment or different types of equipment that can be used by everyone. This BoardSafe dock is universally designed. BoardSafe actually got the input from the disability community as they were putting it together. And what's really awesome about it is there's a step-by-step instruction guide that you can use. You can snap a QR code on your phone and it takes you to an instructional video where a gentleman by the name of Ken Rhino, who is a quadriplegic, talks you through on how to transfer from your wheelchair into the kayak, and they give you step-by-step instructions. Well, obviously, Will County is committed to improving accessibility and making accessibility improvements throughout all of the Will County Forest Preserves. And the #1 goal is nature is for everyone. And this truly shows how nature is for everyone, and anybody, regardless of their abilities, can come out here and kayak.